Grab your coffee and come join me as I talk to you a little bit about what I'm currently learning. So, as an adult and as someone who is living in a different place from where I spent most of my adult life, making friends in this new place was something that I wanted to focus on. And it's something that I've been learning and finding out what it actually means to make a friend as an adult. And what I thought was that it was about finding the right person, finding that hobby or those things that you both like to do, and finding that right person who was the one who was going to be your friend. Turns out it's actually more about becoming the version of yourself that you want to be. I want to share three shifts that I'm living in this new change in my life. So the first one is about what we I spoke about in the last video, which was showing up with a growth identity versus that fixed identity. I'm still becoming, I'm still learning, I'm still growing into the person that I am moving towards. And so when I hit against something that is difficult, like showing up and trying, to make new friends, for example, I'm becoming the person who is acting in a way versus having that fixed mindset, which is I can't because I'm whatever that might be. So that's the first shift that I'm living right now. The second one that I'm focusing on right now is about authenticity over performance. So this is an important one for me as I've grown and as I've matured over the years. Authenticity has become more and more important to me. And I am very aware of the difference when I show up somewhere of me being authentic and me performing. And it's one of those things that I perfected over time, how to perform the way I thought everybody wanted me to be. And over time, that felt horrible to me. And so now, what I'm living is this commitment to authenticity over performance. When I think about authenticity and really about performance, I remember so many times in my past where I would walk into a room and depending on what the situation was, I would put on that persona and perform what I thought I needed to be. So one of the ones that stood out to me the most is my sister would say to me, "You've got your teacher voice on." So I was a teacher before. My parents are both teachers, and I would show up when I think I needed to feel like I had um, something to offer, so to show up in a way that maybe people listened or respected what I was going to say. And I would have this teacher performance that I would put on. And it was never obviously authentically me because my sister spotted it immediately. And I knew in those moments that I was really uncomfortable. It was definitely me putting on a show, trying to get something out of it. And that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for me to be pretending. I just want to relax. I just want to be me and I just want to show up. Um, so that's the second one that I'm really living into and reminding myself why I want to be authentic. I don't want to take the effort that I took before to pretend. The third shift that I am living right now is showing up in new places with my needs already met. So, this is something that I am consciously paying attention to. So, if I'm going somewhere and I need to have something from the situation where I'm at, for example, if I'm meeting somebody new and wanting to have connection, if I'm needy for connection, I'm going to come across very different from that authentic person who is becoming confident, becoming conscious, becoming aligned with herself. And it won't be the way I want to show up. Being conscious of those unmet needs that are still there for yourself and putting in the work beforehand is really helpful when you're showing up in a new situation. So there were a few examples that I've actually had this week where I was very aware of how I was becoming and how I wanted to show up using these shifts that I'm living right now. So the first one was there was a couple who arrived at the coffee shop where I was, and they sat down across from me, and the man pulled out a pile of books and started reading. And I noticed pretty quickly one of the books was by Viktor Frankl, The Man's Search for Meaning. And this is a book that has been on my mind a lot lately. And so, it caught my attention really quickly. And I didn't say anything to this person because I chose comfort over curiosity. And after it was over, I kind of really realized that this would have been a perfect time for me to comment, for me to say something to this person and just say, hey, I'm reading that book too, or I really love Viktor Frankl's book, and just start a conversation. So, it's not about me showing up to find my perfect friend in the coffee shop. It's about me just really connecting because that's something that I want to do. And I really enjoy talking about things like I do here. The second example was at another coffee shop, and I was with my husband. And there was a mother with her son who walked in, and this little boy, he had a hat on. It was very cute. And the hat said, and I couldn't see all of it, but I could see that it had Yellowknife on it. And Yellowknife is in the Northwest Territories, and my sister lives there. So I was, again, caught my attention. And this time I actually did say something to the mother. I just commented about the hat. And, it was just a really lovely, pleasurable few minutes that we had talking about Yellowknife. And then the third one was me making an effort to get to know the barista at the coffee shop. So I'm there for quite a few times during the week. And, I noticed how he was really friendly with the people coming in and out and getting to know the regulars. And I realized, hey, I'm a regular now. This is something that I want to do too. I really liked the man's energy of how he started to slowly get to know the people coming in and would chat to them and so on. So this he was helping me see a way I wanted to show up as well and be courageous. So these are just some examples of how, I was focusing on becoming the person that I want to be, choosing authenticity over performance, and really coming and meeting my need for connection in really simple ways and not having this desperate need for friendship, just really connecting with humans, enjoying being around people, and noticing things that, caught my attention or that perhaps we had similar interests in. So, the big shift that I was um, noticing in myself was that the old way that I would have shown up was, watching around, judging, kind of auditioning the people around for the best person to kind of try to be a friend with, versus the new way that I'm showing and becoming and being um, as a person showing up at coffee shops or wherever that might be is just to love being around people and being present and interested and commenting and chatting with people. So that's the becoming that I'm noticing as I prioritize making new friends. So this week, I have got a challenge for you. See if you can find a moment where you are choosing curiosity and courage over comfort. And it doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be, perfect. Just putting yourself out there in a way that you are becoming, that you're trying to be more of as you move forward. And let me know how it goes. Now, before I let you go, I wanted to share one other thing that I've been thinking about. So many of you, like me, are most likely going through some life transition. And I was thinking about starting a small group on Google Meet where we could support each other in our becoming and growing and learning about what's coming next for each of us. And just having a simple way where we could connect and support as we move forward. It would be once a month, we'd have a meeting, and it would be $20 per month. And I would love for you to join us, and together we can be on this journey of becoming who we are meant to be next. So if you're interested, let me know, leave a comment, and I will reach out to you with the information that you need. It would be starting in March. So if this is something that you're interested, let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right, that's all for now, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.